What's up? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, it is March. Okay, it's March. The Christmas shit's still up. Let's not talk about that. That's not important, okay? Let's get into it. So Casey Anthony, I just want to talk about this because I'm just finding about it now. You know, it's getting brought to light. So this girl, Casey Anthony, is coming back to social media. And by coming back, she just drops this video and she's like, it's March and I'm coming back.
We're sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony.
First glance, you're like, okay, like normal woman, okay, like she seems like, you know, well-spoken, like, you know, and so you're like, why is everyone hating that she's back on TikTok? Like everyone's like, she can't be here. Fuck her, like this, not like going crazy. I'm like, damn, what did she do? And then I like went down the deep rabbit hole and found out who she is.
By the time 2-year-old Kaylee Anthony was reported missing, she'd already been gone for 31 days. To say there was a low chance of finding her alive is an understatement. The whole world watched this case unfold. Everyone was absolutely devastated.
Well, I'm gonna say allegedly, okay? This mother, Casey Anthony, I can't even call her a mom technically, like honestly. Child was missing for a month and she did not report it. She did not report it allegedly, okay? This is just what I been gathering, okay? Her mother had to report it and Casey was like, yeah, I dropped her off at the babysitter's. And yeah, I don't know where she is. But what do you mean you dropped your child off at the babysitter for a month, and you don't report them missing? You're like, I don't know. Like, it's so obvious. Like, everything about this case, if you look into it, is so obvious and crazy. But, like, she got away with it. Like, she technically got away with it. It's already tried. Like, what? So I could see, like, now I'm like, okay. Like, I'm starting to understand. Because, like, just seeing this, you get, like,
Casey Anthony was 22 years old, and in the 31 days that her daughter was missing, she'd been out partying almost every night.
This is literally the reason why I advocate so hard for girls not to become pregnant young, okay? Because certain girls still want to live like a party lifestyle, okay? And it's like, I get it that, you know, having kids doesn't end your life or ruin your life or no, but you are a mother first. Like, you are a mother first. Like, it's not just about you anymore. Like, you can't be selfish. Like, that's the thing. So, like, yes, having children isn't gonna like totally take away your life, but it does take a part of you because it's not about you anymore. Like, when you don't have kids, it's just about you. Like, if you don't have kids, it's about you. Okay, girl, like, you can be selfish, like, whatever. When you have kids, you can be selfish, but then you are a bad mother. I don't care. Like, you are a bad mother if you want to be selfish and not care about your child and not put them first. You want to go out partying all the time, not care. Like, when you choose to have a kid, and this is what's messed up with this generation, because everyone's having kids hella young, when that's when you should be actually, like, you know, partying, whatever, and you can just, you know, experiment. It's hard to do that with kids and children. Like, it's hard. And I just think more people should talk about how, like, that's not right, having kids so young. Because your brain's not even developed at 22. Like, I just don't believe in having kids before 25. If you did, like, okay, but I just think the normal standard should be, like, that's unusual. Why is that the norm to have kids before 25? Everyone's a baby mama, baby dada. Ew. I'm never gonna say that. Baby daddy. Sorry. But, like, everyone's a baby daddy. Everyone's a baby mama. Like, that's the new normal. Like, that's literally the new normal. I'm realizing it. And, like, 25, 26, 27 is getting to be, like, later having kids. Like, that's even too young for me. But, like, you know, it's all about your mindset and when you're ready to settle down. And sometimes you think you're ready to settle down when you're, like, younger than 25, but you're not, because you don't even know what life's about yet. You're just like, yeah, I want to have a family. and then you realize, oh, maybe the family, like, the family thing will be forever. Like, you have forever, babe. You have forever. So, like, just wait it out. Really pick a good father, or else you're gonna end up, like, being like, oh, like, actually, I want to be in that party lifestyle. And, like, you know, this is not a rare case, like, this happens, but I mean, where, you know, the child ends up neglected, and then in some cases no longer with us, like, you know what I mean? So it's just to prevent stuff like this. It's to prevent stuff like this, because it's like she became a mother and she was not ready for it. 22, like, the age does have a lot to do with it, because now, as you can see, she's older. She's talking, like, you know, she talks in a manner that's, like, you know, not crazy or whatever. Like, she seems like in the right mind. Like, just me looking at her, I was like, who is this? Like, she seems like normal, right? Like, brain fully developed at this age. When she was 22, she's probably not old. Okay, guys, so this is Kaylee, all right, her daughter. And she's 2 years old. 2 years old. She was 2 years old. Your 2-year-old is missing for 31 days and you are not concerned, and her grandma had to report it. Her grandma had to call the police and was like, yo, her 2-year-old is missing. It's been 31 days. And they're like, what? Like, that alone is insane. Like, your 2-year-old is missing 31 days and you are not concerned. You haven't seen your baby and you are not concerned. Like, that alone, outrage. Like, when did she know? When did she notice that the kid was missing? It's been a month and you don't know? And when a kid goes missing, like, the longer it goes on, the harder it is, the longer it, like, you know what I mean? You need to be on it quickly. So a whole month, a lot can go down in a month. Like, you can get far in a week. So a whole month not being reported is crazy. It's so, like, the concern was not there. All right, so this is Cindy Anthony, you guys. Her grandma, Kaylee's grandma. And basically, she's the one that reported it to the police. Like, she's the one that called the police. So then she gets onto the phone call for a third time with the police, like a third phone call, and basically says to the police that my daughter says that the babysitter has taken it, that she thinks the babysitter abducted her daughter. And this is the phone call, which even gets crazier.
My daughter finally admitted that the baby's in the store. I need to find her.
Your daughter admitted that the baby is where?
But the babysitter took her a month ago. My daughter's been looking for her. I told you my daughter was missing for a month. I just found her today, but I can't find my granddaughter. And she just admitted to me that she's been trying to find her herself. There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car.
Okay, what is the 3-year-old's name?
Kaylee, Caylee, Anthony.
Kaylee Anthony?
Yes.
How long has she been missing for?
I have not seen her since the 7th of June.
Is your daughter there?
Yes.
Can I speak with her?
She's downstairs. They want to talk to you. Answer the question. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you tell me what's going on a little bit?
I'm sorry?
Can you tell me a little bit what's going on?
My daughter's been missing for the last 31 days.
Phone call is all off to me, like, all off. The fact that I feel like the grandma went to the mom and was like, okay, I reported to the police, and then the mom was like, oh yeah, like, I've been trying to find her, like, I dropped her off at the babysitter's a month ago, and, like, I just don't know where she is. I'm trying to find her. And the fact that on the phone call the grandma says the car smells like death, like, what? Like, that's so odd, so crazy. Like, it just gets crazier. It's like, what? And you're telling me what's crazy about all this is she was found innocent, like, not guilty? Like, what? And nobody's charged for, like, no, but what? Nobody's held responsible? Like, Anthony basically told her parents that she's going to be traveling and she's going to be, like, away for a while, whatever. So she goes away, and you know, her parents are more active because, like, she's a younger mom. Like, she became a mom at 20 years old, okay? So she's 22 now, has a 2-year-old. She goes away. Like, that's normal, whatever, you know. Things happen. Like, you have a 2-year-old, you're kind of an adult, like, you can go away. But she borrows her dad's car. Now, for the month that she goes away, like, the grandparents didn't have any communication with the child. Okay, and normally they're very, like, attentive to the child, like, they loved her as their own. And for the month, like, she keeps making excuses, like, oh, like, she's with the babysitter, like, she can't, like, talk right now, she's having fun, blah, blah. And, of course, the parents aren't going to think any reason, like, okay, like, that she's lying. Anyway, so, you know, because her dad let her borrow the car, She got it like impounded or like whatever, pounded or something. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, they called up the dad because he's registered to the car and was like, okay, your car's impounded, like you gotta come pick it up. When he picks up the car, it smells like death. Like in the trunk when they got it, they have the trunk, smells like death. And he was apparently an investigator or something, like way back in the day, like homicide, whatever. And he smelled that smell many times before, which is even crazier. The car smells like that. Like, and it's not even like, he's like, whoa, like, I just let my daughter borrow the car and it smells like that. What? And now the daughter's missing. What? The whole thing is crazy. I hear that shit show when they find the car. They're like, what the heck? And personal belongings, like Kaylee's car seat was still like left in the car, right? Like the smelling of the car, right? And a purse, like some essentials, like seeming like she was gonna come back to the car. Like the mother, where's the mom? Like, why is she not coming back to the car? Where's the mother? She was with her boyfriend in Tampa. Her parents find out that their daughter is in Florida, like Tampa, with her boyfriend, and they're like, what the heck? Like, we just found the car, like, what's going on? So obviously they show up to her, like they go to wherever she's at. They're like, what's good? And apparently she's just like stoned out of her mind, apparently, allegedly on the couch, like just like shocked that her parents are there, being like, yo, what's up? Like, what's going on? And sorry, the daughter wasn't there when the parents went there and they go see her daughter. Their grandchild was not there. Like, where's the grandchild? And then that's when she was like, oh, like I dropped her off at the babysitter's and like I haven't been with her for like the whole month. Like, you know, when I went on this trip, like I dropped her off at the babysitter's. Like, why didn't she just leave the child with the parents, like her grandparents? Like, I don't understand. And so obviously the mom's like, I'm not playing this shit. Like, you're gonna talk to the cops like right now. Like, you're gonna explain, like, what? She's missing. You mean she's missing? So obviously she calls 911, hands her the phone, like, speak. Like, explain. And this is the phone call. Okay? And just keep in mind the calmness that you hear in her voice. Like, you heard the grandmother being like, oh my gosh, like my granddaughter, something's wrong, something's off, this is not right. No, the way that this mother's talking about, like, yeah, like I dropped her off at the babysitter's and haven't seen her. What? Any normal person would be like, what?
You know who has her?
I know who has her. I've tried to contact her. I actually received a phone call today, now from a number that is no longer in service. I did get to speak to my daughter for about a minute.
Who has her? Do you have a name?
Her name is Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez. She's been my nanny for about a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Why are you calling now? Why didn't you call 31 days ago?
I've been looking for her and have gone through other resources to try to find her, which was stupid. I think the officers are here.
The officers are there?
Yes.
So I think we can all agree that was way too chill. That was way too chill. Like, any normal mother that loves their child is going to be like showing up to the babysitter, like ready to fight. Like, where's my child, right? Like, what do you mean going through other? No, I'm like speed dialing 911. If you're not giving me my child, bro, that's a case. So like, just these facts alone to me screams guilty. Does that not scream guilty to you? Like, I'm just logically, okay? Now, not saying like she's, you know, whatever, guilty, blah, blah. I'm just saying from a logical perspective, okay? She seems a little sus, okay? So the fact that she got away with this is kind of like, you just think 1 + 1 = 2. And then there's shit like this out in the world that you're like, it's like right in front of you. And people are just like, what? Like, I cannot believe it. Now, get this. So, the babysitter's name that she gave the police, that she was like, oh, yeah, like, I left her at the babysitter's. Her name is this. I haven't seen her since then. She's trying to abduct my baby, whatever. That person doesn't exist in Casey's life. Like, the name that she gave was somebody. This is who it was. She is a babysitter, but like, she's like, I've never heard of Casey Anthony in my life, like, don't know who she is. Like, she just is making up shit. She also told the police that she like works at Universal and like took the police through Universal, and she's like, yeah, I haven't worked here in like 2 years. Like, what? Guys, the case infuriates me. Like, I'm literally like, Aisha, what do you mean? And what do you mean the babysitter doesn't exist? What? Guys, this is what blows me even more, okay? So she gets arrested and she uses her phone call to call her mom because she sees that her mom's like going on like whatever press tour, like, you know, she's going on the news being like, we need to find her, we need to find my granddaughter, right? She calls her mad about it. She's like upset that they're trying to find her daughter.
Casey?
Mom.
Hey, sweetie.
Oh, I just saw your nice little cameo on TV.
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Which one? I did 4 different ones, and I don't know. I haven't seen them all. I've only seen 1 or 2 so far.
You don't know what my involvement is and stuff?
Casey?
Mom.
What?
No.
I don't know what your involvement is, sweetheart. You're not telling me where she's at.
Because I don't f***ing know where she's at. Are you kidding me?
Casey, don't waste your call to
No.
scream and holler at me.
Waste my call sitting in the jail?
Whose fault is you sitting in the jail? You're blaming me that you're sitting in the jail?
Not
Blame
my
yourself
fault.
for telling lies. You mean it's not your fault? What do you mean it's not your fault, sweetheart? If you'd have told them the truth and not lied about everything, they wouldn't...
Do me a favor, just tell me what Tony's number is. I don't want to talk to you right now.
I don't have his number.
We'll get it from Lee because I know Lee's at the house. Get Tony's number for me.
Hey,
Hey, can you give me Tony's number?
I can do that. I don't know what real good it's going to do you at this point.
Well, I'd like to talk to him anyway.
Okay.
Because I called to talk to my mother, and it's f***ing waste. Oh, by the way, I don't want any of you coming up here when I have my first hearing for bond and everything else. Like, don't even waste your time coming up here.
You're making it real tough for anybody to want to try to... I'm not going around and around with you. That's pretty pointless. Christina would love to talk to you because she thinks that you will tell her what's going on. Frankly, we're going to find out. Everything
I have
she's
no
telling
clue
them
where
is
Kaylee
lie.
is. If I knew where Kaylee was, do you think any of this would be happening? No.
Anyway, you only got a couple minutes for this, so I'm not going to let you completely waste it. Here's Christina. She thinks she can get through.
No, I want Tony's number. I'm not talking to anybody else.
Hello?
Hi, I'm glad everybody's at my house. Do me a favor, get my brother back because I need Tony's number.
Does Tony have anything to do with Kaylee?
No, nothing.
Okay, so why do you want to talk to Tony?
He's my boyfriend, and I want to actually try to sit and talk to him because I didn't get a chance to talk to him earlier because I got arrested on whim today. I just want to talk to Tony, get a little bit of...
Casey, you have to tell me if you know anything about Kaylee.
Sweetheart,
if
if
anything happens to Kaylee, Casey, I'll die. You understand? I'll die. If anything happens to that baby.
Oh my god, calling you guys, a waste. Huge waste.
Like, oh my gosh, just hearing her speaks, like, irks me. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, your family's concerned about your daughter. And, like, you should be concerned, too. And be like, yeah, guys, like, I want to find my daughter. Like, I don't know where she is. I really don't know where she is. Like, not even, like, compassionate. Not even sad. Not even an ounce of, like, anything. I just want to... What's my boyfriend's number? Only cares about her boyfriend. Bitch. Like, she sounds like a bitch. Like, nothing has made me so angry except, like, that phone call was, like, that was even crazier. So, after that, she had her court hearing. She was denied bail, thank goodness, because she just has such a lack of remorse and everything. Her parents, after 9 days, visited her in the jail, and then they recorded that, and this is it.
What's that t-shirt? I didn't get a chance to ask him, other things
Kaylee's
besides.
picture's on the back.
Is it? Can Dad
Yes.
show me the shirt?
Yeah, turn around so you can see. It's the Never Lose Hope Foundation. Do you see it?
I can see
Your
part
picture?
of it, yeah.
Have you seen me? And then it has the information on how to contact.
Okay.
Casey, you don't realize the whole United States is looking for our Kaylee.
I know that, Mom.
Her cover's going to be on People magazine in a few days.
Okay.
Is she dumb? Like, she should be like, okay, great, good. I'm so glad that so many people, like, is it? Okay. Like, is it? Yeah, it is. Like, you should be so glad that the whole world is looking for your daughter that you don't know where she is at. Good. That will get you out of jail, right? That will literally exonerate you. Like, print it up, keep talking about it. But you're mad that they're going on the new, like...
Coleslaw today. Tell my coleslaw.
Well, you're probably eating a lot of things you never used to eat before because when you're hungry, you'll eat.
I hated bologna. I've been eating bologna and cheese on occasion. Grits, I don't. do grits at all. It's terrible.
Well, you know what? You're going to eat what's in front of you.
I want you to know, I want to take your pain away from you. So, you can tell me anything.
I know that, Dad.
I miss you, sweetie.
I know that. I miss you too.
I wish I could have been a better dad and better grandpa,
You've been a great dad and you've been the best grandfather. Don't for a second think otherwise.
Well,
you and Mom have been the best grandparents. Kaylee's been so lucky. Kaylee is so lucky to have both of you. I can't even put into words how glad I am that she's had both of you. And that she still has both of you.
The slip up that she just had there was crazy. Like, that she had both of you. And still has both of you. Because she's good. Like, what? Okay, so after that, she got a good lawyer because her case, like, blew up, got really famous. And you know how these famous cases, good lawyers reach out and are like, let's win this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So she did get a good lawyer. And he got her bail overturned. So basically, she ended up getting out. Because she got out on bail, y'all. Because they set it at 1 million. The judge was like, okay, like, she probably won't even get out. Like, let's just set it so high that, like, she's not going to pay it. So because her case is blown up, like blown up famous, some random stranger paid her bail because they thought that if she got out, that she would be able to lead them to her daughter. Okay, like, lead them to their daughter, like, get out, blah, blah. So, like, because the case was so big that, like, some random stranger paid her bail. Now, the bail is set to 1 million, but again, like, how bail works is you don't have to pay the full thing. You literally just have to pay, like, I believe a quarter or percentage of it. And then I believe you, like, don't even have to end up paying, like, the whole, it's never ever, like, that much. It's always only a quarter. And yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how bail works. If you know, leave it down in the comments, but whatever. You don't have to pay the whole thing. So she got out on bail.
I mean, we all still feel, I as a mom, I know in my gut, there's the feeling as a parent, you know certain things about your child, you can feel that connection. And I still have that feeling, that presence. I know that she's alive. Whether you have a bucket load of evidence downstairs that contradicts that and says otherwise, or all you have is speculation.
Guys, so now I'm going to talk about how they found the body. So anyway, so about 5 months later, like after, Kaylee was reported, missing. So December, I believe it was December. So quite a while. There was this worker that, like, went outside and he would always, like, pee outside, whatever, in the wilderness, kind of like whatever. His name was Roy. Okay. And he saw this bag. Like, one day he was out there and he just saw this garbage bag and he's like, what the heck? Like, that's so weird. And he just, like, it looks suspicious. So he reported to the police. And the police didn't do anything about it. Like, they're like, okay, we'll look at it. And it was still there. Like, he kept seeing it. So he's like, he called again. He's like, this bag's still there, blah, blah, blah. Like, do you look at the bag? They're like, okay, we'll get on it. Eventually they go when Roy's not working. Like, they just go on their own time. And they don't find a garbage bag. They're like, okay, whatever. They don't find it. So Roy goes back eventually, like, to a spot, still sees the bag. He's like, what the heck? Like, what? They're not doing anything. So he even calls the sheriff's department. Like, after that, he's like, I'm done calling 911. Calls the sheriff's department. And they still didn't do anything. So, I mean, I guess, like, to the police, it's just, like, someone reporting a garbage bag. So it's like, what? So eventually he does go up to it and he's like, okay, like, the bag is still there. And he pokes around in it and he finds bones, man. Bones. And he's like, oh my gosh, like, my suspicion was right. But I mean, that is sus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I just saw a garbage bag, I really wouldn't think anything of it. But I guess in the wilderness, like, I guess I'm never in the wilderness. I'm a city girl. So I don't know. If you just find a garbage bag in the wilderness, that's sus. And then eventually, like, so his boss, like, he tells his boss, he's like, yo, I found human bones. Then the boss calls and is like, yo, my coworker, like, my employee's been reporting this and you guys didn't do anything. And now he found bones. So come down here. And they, obviously come down here because now it's serious. And they open up and find decomposed remains. Okay, that's how they discovered the body, which is crazy. Like, the fact that I just think about this and I'm like, imagine if, like, it was buried. Like, because it was just sitting there. So imagine they really dug a deep hole and then buried it. That would have been better. Like, no one would have found it. So because it's been like months, I don't know if you guys know, but like a human body starts decaying like in a week. So because it's like months later, it was nothing but bones, okay? And they did find like a piece of tape like kind of close to the skull area, like the tiny skull, and it's just bone. So they're just trying to identify the body because there's no way you can know what kind of cause of death it is. There's no body. Like, there's no way to do a proper autopsy if it's just bones, okay? So they don't know how she died. But they do know it's obviously like a homicide because nobody just naturally dies in a garbage bag with duct tape over them. Like, that's not a thing. So the fact that like that guy was reporting this garbage bag for months, and probably like it's been months, they probably would have got a little bit more something if they would have just checked it out like months ago. But because it took months for them to finally check it out, the whole case irks me, I'm not gonna lie. Now that they have the body, then they're gonna go like back and retrace their steps. Okay, they found some hair. Like, they think they found Kaylee's hair, and the kind of hair that they found was actually basically missing a certain part. So when you die, it doesn't have like this root or something. I don't know the technicalities, whatever. I'm not a scientist, okay? But there's certain hair that's like was confirmed to be from a dead body. They couldn't say for sure that was Kaylee's hair or whatever, but like they did find hair and it was missing that part, so it was like it was from a dead body, okay? Now, they also found like high levels of chloroform in the car, like whatever. This is not like, I cannot, because it's like so clear. It's so clear. And chloroform is like what knocks you out. Now, they were saying like, oh, it could be from like cleaning products or whatever. So like they took it to like where the car got cleaned or something. And like other cars, they tested other cars. The other cars did not have that, okay? So this one car has like very high levels of chloroform or whatever that has been used in the car. So if it was cleaning products, if it was like, they don't know why it was like, so it's such a high amount. Like June 16th is when they believed like Kaylee was taken from this life. They look at like her Google records, like the mom's Google records, and she Googles that day suffocation, and then a minute later, foolproof suffocation. If that does not say a lot, I don't know what does. Okay, so later that day, after she Googled that stuff, her and her boyfriend were found in a Blockbuster, like they just saw on the security cameras, and Kaylee was not there. Kaylee was not with them. So where's the kid from there? Okay, so then they also discovered that she's researching chloroform over like a period of time, and also how to make it yourself. How to make chloroform yourself. They find like a little diary note, and it's like June 21st, okay? So like Kaylee apparently was missing a week after this. So June 21st, and this is the diary entry.
I have no regrets, just a bit worried. I just want for everything to work out okay. I completely trust my own judgment and know that I made the right decision. I just hope that the end justifies the means. I just want to know what the future will hold for me. I guess I will soon see. This is the happiest that I've been in a very long time. I hope that my happiness will continue to grow. I've made new friends that I really like. I've surrounded myself with good people. I'm finally happy. Let's just hope that it doesn't change.
Right, so your daughter's been missing for a week, and this is the happiest you've ever been. That you haven't seen your daughter for a week. And nobody knows. Nobody knows. I just keep noting that the new boyfriend that she had was like only 2 weeks old, like around that time. Like they were only together for 2 weeks, and he was like a club promoter, like a party guy, like always in the party scene, right? She had this kid at 20. She had the kid at 20. You can legally drink at 21. Okay, so like her, like she didn't get to experience going out. Like she already had a kid, so she, during the time that her baby girl was missing, is when she was partying all the time. She got a tattoo. It's like, that was basically translates to like happy life in a different language. Like, it's what? Like during the time that your daughter is missing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, experience life first to know what you want, or else you will grow resentment to your child. And it happens a lot more than we think. Postpartum depression too. It's just so sad. I'm gonna get to the most infuriating part for like, this is too much for me, but the reason why she is free today. Okay, so when the trial happened, you know, they had to pick 12 jurors that like had no idea about the case. So they picked them from like states, like far states, like, you know, everybody knew about that case in Florida, so it had to be like far from all over. Okay, they quarantined them. The jurors did not know anything about this case. Okay, did not know any outside information. So her lawyer, okay, decides to like go with the blame game, blame it on her father, and says that he found the dead body, blah blah blah, whatever, and wanted to cover it up because he didn't want his daughter to be blamed for it. Like, they tried to blame it on him. They tried to blame it on, like, this is so crazy. And then she even goes as far as to say, like, he sexually assaulted me when I was younger, that's why I'm a pathological liar now, blah 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 blah. Like, tries to throw her dad under the bus, and has never told anybody about this assaulting when she was younger, even like ex-boyfriends. Like, nobody's ever heard about this until on the stand, and tries to throw him. What? It didn't even make any sense. The Google searches, like, what? So obviously the jurors that like have no idea about this case are hearing this poor story about like this girl like, getting like, you know, whatever, and you know, she didn't, there was no evidence technically pointing to her either that it was her, right? It was just like circumstantial evidence of like around the house, like his car. It was his car too, right? It was his car. It was the dad's car. What? Like, oh my gosh, there's no way to tell like how the child died and everything. So like they were saying like he wanted to make it look like it was a murder. You know, the dad wanted to make it look like it was a murder, like they found her in the pool drowned. Like, what? Guys, you have to look into this case more. Like, just look into all the details, because it's that makes me so upset. I didn't really get into this part, but about like 1 or 2 months like after they found Kaylee's body, the dad actually wanted to take himself out. Like, he tried to take himself out, but they found him in time, so he didn't end up like, you know, fully like whatever. But that was before they even went to trial and all this came out. So like the lawyer like was like, oh yeah, like I don't know, like this is just the craziest thing. So he's already like having a really hard time with his granddaughters. So like to jurors it looks also suspicious, like the whole case. And obviously they don't know anything about this case like how we do, right? We don't know all the details. They're not getting all the details, and it just looks like, and they also pushed for the penalty, like to take her out. Like they didn't want like life, they wanted the, you know. So maybe if they didn't push so hard for the penalty, maybe like the jurors would be like, okay, like, you know, go have some jail, like go to jail, you know. But like to take somebody's life as a juror, like you would be like, you have to be 100%, because like to do that and then you're not 100%, and it's not 100% evidence too. Like there's nothing that's connecting like exactly her to it, right? So you know how she went on trial and said like her father assaulted her like sexually when she was younger, right? So then she goes as far as to say that he was doing that to her daughter, and he freaked out and probably drowned her in the pool. Something like that. Probably drowned her and then like freaked out, and like that's probably how it went down. Like she was trying to blame it. Like this whole case is just so infuriating, you guys. Like please look into it. So obviously to get the penalty, the jurors have to be sure without doubt that they're guilty. You know, there cannot be like a well, this could have happened. Like you have to be like, okay, they did it for sure. So because there was so much like, okay, well, like it's not for sure, you know, they didn't want to like, you know, if she's innocent or whatever, or didn't have completely 100% to do with it, right? After all that. So, I mean, they didn't find her, like, guilty for that, but they found her guilty for the other, like, lying to the, you know, police and lying to the investigators and all that. So, like, she had to serve, like, I don't believe it was, like, 2 to 4 years, but she's been in jail for, like, 2 years. So, she just, after the whole trial and everything, she only had to serve 10 days. Like, after the trial, 10 days was left, and she was out, free, cut off her whole family, because how can you face them after that? After you just try to throw your dad under the bus, after you know that he was already like on the edge, and then you do that to him. This whole story was so crazy. The case, you know, after everything, she still is in Florida, and then she moved in with her defense lawyer, one of the defense lawyers, and now works with him on some cases. Got a job through him. moved in with him. What? Like, what? Yeah, you guys, so that little video of her coming back March 2025 after this case, girl, you should have stayed off the internet. Like, nobody's a fan, nobody's a supporter. Whoever's following her, you're weird. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but like, stay off the internet. Like, stay off the internet. That's why it's a big deal that she came back and made that little appearance. So, yeah, that's the most recent thing, you guys. It's March 2025, and this hoe is trying to come back. Bro, like, you got off real easy, real lucky, and now, in most states, it is illegal for you to not report your child to the police over a certain amount of time. Like, that is a law now. Like, me and you are thinking, duh, like, if you don't report your child, that's jail time. That's because of her. Because it was not a law before. Because nobody really left their child like that without reporting them. Because, duh. So, yeah, that hoe has got everybody pretty mad, pretty pressed, and then she wants to come back on, like, I'm an advocate. Shut the fuck up. Stay off the internet, bro. Nobody wants to hear from you. You should change your name, and you want to come back as yourself. It's actually so crazy. So, yeah, that's the story on that, you guys. Caught you up on that because I was just relearning about this case when I'm like, why is everyone so pressed? Like, seems normal. Look into it. I do not like her as well. All right, so leave your opinions down below. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. But to me, this was just very important to cover because people should know and not forget. Like, we will not forget. We cannot forget. All right.
We're sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony.